just arrested in Cameron County. That's concerning to me. It's concerning to me because by law, I'm supposed to be notified of everything going on with these people.
Not everything. Were you aware that this person who got arrested, were you aware that they were, well, obviously not in custody?
That's the problem. That's where the problem begins.
You didn't know that this person was not in custody?
Because there's a law that's supposed to notify me, right? No, I wasn't notified.
Only notify you when, well, let me ask you this. Was there a protective order issued?
I believe so for all of them.
Well, you don't know. You
No.
would have gotten a copy of that protective order.
I believe that the judge stated it in open court whenever I gave my victim statement.
Yeah. Well, stating it in open court is one thing. Getting a protective order and getting actually issued, and then obviously, I don't know if you've ever been, are you familiar with these things?
No.
It's actually a 3 or 4 page, 5-page document. You are served a copy.
Oh, no, I understand, but no, I read the whole code, and regardless of a protective order, the victim still must be notified.
The victim gets notified when the suspect gets released.
Exactly. Yes, and I wasn't.
Okay, do you know when this person was
I have
released?
no clue. All I know,
Where this person was incarcerated?
yes. She's on the busted newspaper thing. She's in Cameron County right now.
Okay, well, no.
Well, I don't know if she's in Cameron County. She may have bailed out. She may be,
No,
yeah.
this is where you're saying where she was at. When she was,
Yeah.
or you said she.
They were all sentenced to TDC.
You say no, but right now we're talking about one particular person.
Yes.
Okay, so this one particular person, when they were initially arrested for the offense on you,
Mm-hmm.
were you notified when they got released? Or were you under the impression that they've been incarcerated all this time?
Yes.
Okay, do you know where they were incarcerated?
No. I think I know one of the units where one of them was. But sir,
Okay.
they were barely sentenced not even 2 years ago.
Okay, again, then you're right. Then you need to bring up this issue with whatever unit or jail facility was housed in at the time. Yeah, you're right. They should have notified you that they were going to get released.
Are you able to give me an inmate number? Do you have the system?
No.
Do you think the county would?
They may, if they were incarcerated at whatever jail. You need to call the jail that they were housed at.
I will.
I know there's a website that you may be able to track down an inmate number using a name and date of birth.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be able to help you.
I'll do that. Is there any way for y'all to find out if anybody else has been released?
No, they would notify. They have to notify the victim.
Exactly.
It would be you.
Yeah, and they didn't. Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye. He walked back on the protective order thing. The law in Texas states, regardless of a protective order being issued or not, the victim must be told when the assailants are released. I'm just wondering at what point, because this is even more damage now, right? It just keeps racking up. Right? By the way, to the family and friends, of this person, I didn't give a damn back then about surviving anybody. And I don't give a damn right now. This is my survival. I don't care how much they are loved by you. I have to love myself before we get any shit talking. And also, let me go ahead and remind you that since this crime occurred, the legislative sessions in Texas have changed the harassment laws. Can't go on there talking shit about a victim. Can't be doing that. Right? This is very concerning. This is very concerning. This is very concerning. And although I feel absolutely betrayed by every system that was in place, because senators, and I'm going to have to speak to the actual person that made the policy regarding this. You know I'm going to call them, right? Tomorrow. On Monday. Just the way I did when I called Senator Whitmire to see if what the Rainville Police Department was doing regarding some other things regarding my younger son back 12 years ago. And I was right. Yeah? We need to find out how the hell this can continue to happen to victims. We need to find out why the people that are in charge and are mandated to follow these protocols, they just don't do it without any fear of consequence. Even though hard-working senators and representatives created such laws, then we have these other people working below them that don't give a goddamn. They don't care. They just do not care. It's either they don't care or they're incompetent. Either way, this is a problem. This is a problem. This is a problem. And also, so if this is true, right? I think that it's plain to see that whoever allowed this to occur and did the alleged crimes against her for that arrest are true, are those people that released her going to take responsibility for the alleged acts that this person committed on another person, another Texan? Let me know when I don't make sense. Right? And how sad if it was like soon after. That is more than a pattern of practice. Somebody did not learn. Somebody did not learn. Oh my God. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Julissa Acosta, Cameron County, Texas. 9/30/2025. Mugshot and booking details. Huh? Acosta Julissa was booked in Cameron County, Texas on 9/30/2025. Hey, George Cordova, are you involved in this? Oh. Here, pause this. I do believe that because I'm the victim, you're conflicted out of this. And I do believe that you obviously had a duty, because you have to be a lawyer to be a district court judge, right? And so this person that was released, right, when she was given orders to beat my face, I know because you were there in court when I gave my victim statement, right? Maybe I'm mistaken, but I don't know. It just says J. Cordova there. Did you get her off on a bond? Is that what you did? Because I would imagine that a judge that was not conflicted would have been like, didn't I just sentence you to TDCJ? TDC? Didn't I just sentence you? Right? Right? But when you add the element of you are taking off all the cases of the victim of this person who you sentenced. I'm going to have to call the 5th Administrative Judicial Region on Monday and find out if in fact you did have a duty to stay the fuck out of anything that belongs and is attached to me. Because at the time that she was harming me, so were you. So were you. That's why it was so easy for me to get you off my cases. Somebody would think, what do you want? Are you facilitating? Oh, but a district court judge would never do such a thing, even though we have proof that district court judges do things like that all over the United States. Worse things, right? Right? But it's the Rio Grande Valley, right? Yeah, no district court judge would ever dare to involve themselves in something and put a person out on the streets like that. Right? But I guess it's because it's me, right, Judge Cordova? We'll talk about this when you're on the other side of the law. In a civil court. Because this adds to that. I do not care what you say. What matters is what that judge is going to say about you. If indeed you were the judge, and if indeed you did give a bond. Right? Right? This is the person that, remember there was, 2 cameras, right? That were recording. And there was a live video feed. This was the person that was on the live video feed. In fact, this was the person whose picture was on all the screenshots when I was actively being beaten, when, in my opinion, she sent those proudly to Frank Marr, another hateful man that posted these on his page while I was in the middle of being beaten, never called the police. But none of that is suspicious, right? Right? This is not a survival story, right? I'm just exaggerating, right? These are not facts, right? Yeah, they're all facts. So this was the person that was given notice. This was the person, right, that's probably watching my video right now, right? This was also the person that right about 10 minutes before I was rescued told the assailants, get the bigger person. How do you think that Ariel feels that she's wanted right now and your ass is out when out of everybody that was involved, a reasonable person would suspect you were the key that was influenced by the other people that allowed all of you to take blame and sit in prison. Does Amanda know that you're out? I'm wondering. Right? I will always believe that it wasn't for your involvement. You wouldn't have gotten those people to do that to me. After all, you were giving the orders. Right? Right? The case is still open. Right? I wonder how friendly you and Ariel will be knowing that she has to hide. And the person that got them to do it on the surface is released. I would think that would be a very interesting situation. I wonder what is going to happen there. Right? Because I don't think that's fair to Ariel. I don't think it was fair to you either, to be quite honest with you. I really don't. Right now, my issue is, why the fuck did nobody tell me that you were released? And why were you released that early? And why did fucking Annette Hinojosa not take her ass over there and say, no, this is too early? I'm also wondering who's going to run against her, because this is pretty ridiculous. Yeah, this is pretty ridiculous. This is pretty ridiculous. Okay, this is pretty ridiculous. It's right here. It's right there. It's right there. It's right there. I'll share it on my page. This is concerning. This is concerning. By the way, we all know that I have haters, right? Anybody that sees haters acting in a way that decent human beings should not be acting goes to prove their pattern in practice of not being good people. I'm just saying that right now because this is going to be the peak of them acting that way. Okay, this is a survival page. I am going to mention everything that can possibly happen to prove everything about these people. Or did they release you? I don't know. You know what? Maybe they released you so that you can save everybody else, because I'm imagining that if you don't even try, well, I can just imagine. Right? Because I know if I were Amanda, or if I were that male, right? If I were Ariel, I'd be like, okay, you're out, right? What the fuck are you going to do to help us? You're going to help us, right? You're going to help us, right? Right? You're going to help us. You're going to help us. Right? Right? Because I would imagine that if you don't, well, some people would be really bothered by that. Because that means you're not doing the right thing at all. If anybody from Raymondville ever sees this one speaking to Ofelia Moreno or her sister or near each other, I need to know that. And I need to have proof of that. Because that's very important. Not only would I want to know that, I'm sure Ariel's attorney would want to know that. And I'm sure everybody still sitting in prison is going to know, why the fuck are you talking to that lady? Right? This is interesting. One more time, I don't care if the sisters get mad. If you were me, you'd have every right to survive as fiercely as you possibly can. If it was your mother, as an American, you would have the right to survive as fiercely as you possibly can. It doesn't matter what level of badass you consider yourself to be. None of that will keep me from doing all I've ever done, which is survive the most that I can. Okay. If you all see Ariel, Ariel, you beat my face. This was the same girl that said 10 minutes before, they arrested you because they left you and your boyfriend in there. And what I heard was that her and her mom had shown up, saw the police, and skedaddled. Why did she show up? Because 10 minutes before, they were still on the phone. She was still giving orders. And she said, you know what? She wanted you because you were overweight. I'm not kidding. The videos are there. She said that about you. She did. She did. It's the truth. She wanted the mass and the inertia that obviously a smaller person like Amanda did not have, but that you'd have. She wanted you to kick me in my face. And that's when she said, oh, never mind. I'll be right there. You said, are you watching? You said that. You do know that those videos are, they're in custody. It's evidence. This case is not closed. Because the person that you left in there, her and her boyfriend that you abandoned in there during your crime, while you skedaddled off, went to go do whatever you did, got arrested by federal officials, incarcerated and did time for human trafficking. Willacy County failed to take the order to your federal facility. Hence, you got to leave and come on home and hide out in one of Ofelia Moreno's brother's trailers. But there's no connection. There's no connection. There's no connection, right? Right? And you were there for a while, hiding out while you were wanted. I remember everything because none of this is a lie. My goodness. What are they alleging you did? I just posted it on my page. I'm a victim. I'm concerned. I'm concerned. I know what I'll do if anybody shows up to my home. Under the castle law, In Texas, I have a right to do exactly that, right? No, my concern is, was Judge Cordova involved in any of this shit after he was taking off all my cases? After he was proven? How can he possibly do right by a victim when he was proven in this other way that he was completely, unethically biased against that victim? Right? I'm concerned as to for all the other reasons that I already stated. But it's me, y'all. It's Vanessa Theodina. Governor Abbott, if you ever see this, this was a bunch of Democrats that did this to me. I'm not even lying. And I'm surrounded because the Rio Grande Valley is the last bastion of Democrats. Not one fucking one is helping me. Nope. Not one. Not one, sir. If you ever see this, not one. I think you should care that this is happening to a human being in your state. A woman, no less. You were so sweet when I met you in McAllen. And I hope one day to meet you again. And perhaps we can talk about what can be done to include a clause in this legislation, an amendment, to add a punishment to people who fail to notify victims, and to judges that involve themselves in things they have no business being involved in. It's on my page. You can read it. She was allegedly charged with damn, you got arrested on an old warrant. 2021 DCR 0710-C. That's from COVID times. Possession of a controlled substance. Okay. So they only got you on the other warrant because there was an active warrant on you. What you were charged with, I'm imagining, is oh, you had a failure to appear. You had a failure to appear. Assault causing bodily injury. FTA. Failure to appear. That case is 20-CCR-3284-E. If those cases have not been sealed, then you all have access. Cameron County has digital records. So anybody that's interested can go in there and, you know, you got the information that you need. Right? Does Texas have the stand your ground law? They have the castle law. That's a version of the stand your ground law. Where was she booked in? I wonder if she's in Carrizales. me see. I need to know. Shit, if you're not telling me that you was that you got out of TDCJ, that out of TDC, surely I need to know if you got out of a local county jail. Shit. Hello? You know what? Let me call somebody else. I think they answered, but it was on my Bluetooth. 1 second. I got they already sent me the necessary information. I'm gonna call that prison. Oh, she got paroled. Qué bonito. Qué bonito. Under supervision, qué bonito. Okay. When was she paroled? That's okay, let me call him. Thank you, ma'am, for sending me this. This is just part of my... Not only did all that happen to her, but then one day, in October of 2025, November, she finds out that the assailant gave all the orders to torture her was released. Yeah. And she was never notified, which wouldn't be such a big deal if Texas didn't have a very serious law. You shall notify. It doesn't say you may. The law says you shall. That means you have a duty. It's okay. That's another person, facility, agency falling below their standards. That's the very definition of neglect. You can't get out of that one. You can't say, oops, sorry. My goodness. I just want to try to make a call real quick, just out of curiosity. To the person who sent me the information, can you please check the status on Ramon Santana? Amanda Salinas, please? 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 Ariel, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Because I couldn't, even though you harmed me, I can still see things from your point of view. Like, you are still having to hide. Wow. These people are out on parole. My goodness. Right? Ma'am, friend, can you please check the status of Amanda Salinas, please? And Ramon Santana. I need to know.
call Vienna. How about you call?
Hi there.
Hi.
Do you have an acting warrant or an assistant? I'm sorry, an acting warden or an assistant warden or somebody? Who's your highest ranking officer right now, ma'am?
You might have to call tomorrow at 8 a.m.
Okay.
But because there's no warning at this time, they're sleeping at this time. So.
Okay. Who is the warden at that facility? My name is Vanessa Tijerina. The reason that I'm calling you is that I was barely made aware. I survived a brutal crime, and one of your inmates was released without ever notifying me.
Okay, so you have to speak with the warden.
That's what I thought. Who do I ask for?
We don't talk about all that.
Yes.
So when you call
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's gonna be here on the weekend.
Oh, it's a female? She's a female, the warden?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Wonderful.
I don't think she's gonna be here on the weekend. So the best time to call about this situation
Mm-hmm.
is you'll call in the morning and tell them to transfer it to whichever one that's here.
Okay, and so what is her name?
You have to go to online and because like I said, we either on so I don't know.
Can you give me both names, please?
I'm not supposed to release all that information. If you go online and type in how to use it and the warden's name will be there.
Okay, thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye. Can y'all let me know so that I can call right now about Amanda and Ramon Santana? Because what is going on here? My goodness. Right? Let me get that warden's name. Both of the wardens are females, by the way. Thank God. My goodness. Like if I wasn't going to do everything that I could as a victim. You know? And you know what? You know where I come from? Family and friends of that person are saying, why is she causing? Why isn't she just? Why? I'm not even kidding. I'm not like this ain't my business. Like my rights as a victim weren't violated. I'm being serious. That's where I come from. Why do you think they were able to give orders to beat my face and be released without letting me know? That's where I come from. That's where I come from. But it's okay because that adds to my story of injustice. It just keeps going and going and going and going and going, right? Right? Let me get this warden's name already. Yeah. My goodness. You know? ¿Qué creían? Exactly, Ida. Exactly. You know, honestly, my story, if it keeps going the way that it's going, I mean, look at how far it's gotten so far, right? We're going to release the person that was giving the orders for torture without letting her know. As if it couldn't get any worse, it gets worse. No concern from the district attorney who's prosecuting me. You see what happens? You see what happens? who was it? I think it was Royce West, right? I believe that he's a state rep or state senator in Texas. And he tried to implement a law, but it didn't go through. That took care of district attorneys like that, where you could not be making decisions of the people in your jurisdiction. And somebody would probably be like, well, that doesn't sound fair. Oh, yes, it fucking does. Oh, yes, it fucking does. Because you can vote for the person, but they should not be making decisions on who they can weaponize unjustly, criminal processes against who they don't like, and just let any old criminal off the street as long as they get along with their families, right? No. The law that didn't pass was, yeah, the people in your jurisdiction can get you, voted in, but you ain't gonna have shit to do with the decisions that are made there in that county. I need to talk to him, Royce West. I'm gonna call him and I'm gonna say, sir, you remember that law you were trying to make? Let me tell you how that would have helped me. Right? Do you all know? I mean, I know that there's some people right now, haters that are watching this, and it's like, do you all not, her family, her, I don't care. Do you all not know what an activist is? We act. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Amanda's family. My apologies to you. I will never believe that Amanda would have done that had it not been for this person that was already released. I think by this point, no matter how angry you were at me that your relative, brutalized me. Yeah, that's where I come from. That's where I come from, right? But I think now that you know that the person that probably is the reason that your loved one is sitting in prison right now is all fine and dandy. All she got to do is just go and live her life and, get a boyfriend and do whatever she wants to do and just be having fun, enjoy Christmas, enjoy Thanksgiving, show up to court, get arrested, be bonded out, and ain't nothing, no problems at all whatsoever. Just show up and go talk to your parole board. Perhaps the next time that you're able to call your daughter, your sister, you should break the news to her that the human being who's probably the reason that she's sitting in jail was released. Yeah? 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 Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. To the family of Ramon Santana. Ariel, that was your boyfriend. I don't know if he's still your boyfriend or not, but oh my goodness. Sir, you're still sitting in jail. Please tell him that he is still sitting in jail while his girlfriend is wanted. And this one just got released. She don't gotta eat no prison food. No, she don't gotta worry about commissary. Nothing at all. She's sleeping in a warm, comfortable bed. She can get arrested, bonded out, and all she got to do is go show up to a parole board. Ariel, I know you're hiding out, right? But we all know that those two people, they're confined. You're in a different position than they are. Right? I don't know what you got from what I just said. I'm thinking, trying to tell you you should talk to your lawyer. If you got any other ideas in your mind, that has nothing to do with me. But I do know that if I was wanted, and they let out the person that I was holding, you were holding my arms down, honey, and my face in place. She was all telling you what to do. And she's out for the holidays. Out for the holidays. I would take note, Ariel. I would take note. You know a lot of people that know a lot of people. I think it's very interesting if this little person here has any contact with Ofelia Moreno. You should tell your lawyer that. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay. So I will be calling these two ladies. Okay. All right. I'm going to do the best I can, Amanda. If you do want to speak to me, because I mean, I know it's probably the person that could articulate the best why all this shit was unfair to you and you didn't get a fair trial. And why the fuck was this person that was telling you to be my face? She was telling you to put boots on you, to stomp on my face. She literally was giving you and Ariel and Santana orders to torture me, and her ass is out for the holidays. Qué bonito. If you would like me to speak to you, and in turn, Santana, if you would like me to go and articulate this to you, because it's important, you should tell your lawyers. There's a thing called a habeas corpus and a writ of mandamus, which can be done, especially in consideration of all this, especially because of the failures of the prosecution. Right? And remember, Amanda, you have a huge family. I would tell my family to keep an eye out to see if there's any communication between this one and Ofelia Moreno, because I will always believe that communication is the reason y'all did that to me. Yes. Right? So, to the family of Santana, I don't care. I will drive all the way to wherever they're at. To the family of Amanda, do not be calling me being mean to me. Don't be doing that. I don't take that from nobody. No one. If I go up there, it's because I'm helping your family member in a way that you all could not help her. Because the information has to be relayed in the right way. If you relay it to her, there will be too much lost in translation. You have to let go of your hate for me surviving her. Yeah, maybe you've never seen a victim that's willing to be so reasonable to identify. This is important. I will never believe that Amanda is as much of a sociopath or a psychopath as the people that funded it and that were attached to the live video, other than her. You're going to tell me she was the only one attached? No. Her family can now, your family can ask her, hey, also, why did you, Why did you tell them to record it? You know why that's important? She didn't need 2 copies of everything. Old ass, crazy ass psychopaths are the ones that wanted those souvenirs. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. All of this shit makes sense. All of this shit and it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. I don't know at what point Amanda's family is going to understand, oh my God, I hate the fuck out of Vanessa Tijerina, but she's not lying. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. Julissa didn't want those. But somebody that influenced her told you. You think that's something she thought of on her own? No. That's another clue that lets me know she didn't think of this on her own. Maybe that's why she got a little sweet deal. Maybe that's why she was released so soon. Maybe that's why she got favoritism over the brutality that they showed you and Santana and Ariel. My goodness. My goodness. Y'all should not be worried about me. These people should not be worried about me either. They should be worried about who protects me. Right? I was not involved in a damn thing that caused one mother, a young mother, to be out on a warrant, can't even live her damn life. While the person that told her to do all this shit to me, que bonito, is gonna be able to be eating Thanksgiving turkey in 2 weeks. It's the truth. It's the damn truth. Yeah? Yes. My goodness. I don't think it's fair that they force these young adults to be like, well, if you go through trial, then you're probably going to get found guilty, and if you don't take this plea, you're probably going to get more years. But you're not smart enough because you, Amanda, and you, Santana, and you, Ariel, are way too young to understand. I'm not going to subpoena that live fucking video because it's going to show that there's other people that had more fault in this crime than you did. You see, everything I'm saying in this video, your family is not going to be able to actually tell you. Even though they're going to want to, they're going to forget some of these things because we know they're not going to be writing it down. They can't take this video in there to show you. I'd have to tell you. All of the recordings are, this is an open case. If I want to go look at the recordings tomorrow, I can. I just haven't done it. I have the right as a victim to all of the evidence. I will be finding out if I have a right as a victim, not just to the evidence that you subpoenaed, you dastardly human. I know, you know what's that? I need to find out if I have the right to evidence that was important that you did not subpoena. And how sad if the person that you're prosecuting winds up proving how deficient and or unethical or evil you are. Whose fault is that, though? Whose fault is that? I was just living my life asking for help. My God. You know? Yes. Yes. I was going to do something. What was I going to do? I was going to do something. Oh, somebody asked. Yeah. It's right here. Yeah, it's right here. And then with the Secretary of State. Does Texas have a stand your ground law? It's called, quote unquote, stand your ground / the Castle Doctrine. Same thing. Right? Mm-hmm. The provisions within this subchapter, protections of persons, are often referred to as the stand your ground laws. This section discusses some of the circumstances under which a person, may use deadly force to defend themselves or others. I mean, y'all made me hypervigilant. If you think that this whole time I have not been able to, I'm not going to say anything. If you want to find out, you want to find out, right? It says right here, Texas Penal Code Chapter 9, Subchapter D, you can also use deadly force just to protect your property, too. I'm going to be doing it to protect myself. I don't care if you break down a damn door. I just care that you tried to get in my home. Yeah. So yeah, we do. I'm just glad I finally got inside cameras. They're kind of like night lights. Whenever you walk past them, they light up, but still. I got outside lights for the inside. I'm just like that. I mean, shit, right? Right. No, Debbie, they didn't try to kill you. They didn't try to kill me. They just tied me up, took me hostage, it didn't let me leave, and for 3 hours beat my face. That's all they did. That's it. That's all they did. That's it. She gave the orders to do this. Right? I mean, since we're talking about it, right? Right. Alright. Yeah. Okay. This was me on December the 23rd. My haters lied and said that I was, no. Police, no. None of that shit happened. Even if I was, you don't do that shit. Nothing in the law states, oh, well, if they do this, then you can beat their face and torture them for 3 hours. There is nothing that says that. There is nothing that says that. All right. Michelle, somebody says, how much time are those people doing? It was supposed to be 8, 10, and 15 years, but this one just got out in 2. I'm not even kidding. Yeah. Yes. And they didn't even, we'll go to that law right now. So this was me, right, Julissa? This was me. You saw my video. You didn't like it. You didn't like it, right? You didn't like it. So what did you do? You ordered them to do that. You ordered them to do that with the boot marks, right? That's what you ordered, honey. There's this one's the one that is she has not been apprehended yet. That's you, Ariel. Remember, the reason that my arms are pinned under your thighs and the reason that you have my head fixed in a position so they can keep beating my face is because of who? It's because of Julissa that's going to go and eat Thanksgiving dinner and open up Christmas presents and do all that shit and sleep in a comfortable bed and all that. That's the one that told you to do all that shit. Right? And so what else did they do? Okay. And here they are beating me again. I was already bleeding by that time. And there they are again. Ophelia Moreno, that's my hand. You see, that's how I can say your name, because I'm not lying. And the Rainbow Police Department can see this. How many years did you say that I did not even move? I did not even move. They tied me up for only a little bit. At this point, it was at the end of my beating. I felt like I was going to asphyxiate on my own blood. I'm going to lift up my hand. My goodness. But why are you talking shit like if I didn't do that? Oh, yeah, that's right. You're my harasser. Right? And they did that. Do you see that blurred out part right there? You see that blurred out part? You see that? That's Julisa's face. Yeah. On the FaceTime. Yeah. You know that, Frank Ma, right? Yeah. Y'all took off her face so that people wouldn't know who was involved or that there was a live video stream, right? Yes, and this blurred picture of blurred out Julisa's face, right? This screenshot was posted halfway through my beating. And none of those haters that to this day, people see them as wonderful, wholesome family men. I'm not even kidding. I'm being serious. I'm being serious. I'm being serious. Yeah. They were never investigated. Their Facebooks were not subpoenaed to find out who the fuck sent you this shit. Right? Right? So, that's Julisa's face. This is what Frank posted on his page. And what else? They did that. There's another one where they also took out her face. Right? Right? And that's when they stuffed my mouth. I don't even know why you stuffed my mouth, because I wasn't even yelling. I guess you did it for effect. Is that something that Julissa told you to do? I don't know, because I wasn't even saying anything. I didn't. When people see that video, they're gonna see somebody that remained calm under those circumstances, because I knew who was protecting me. I knew. And towards the end, and you saw that shit too, Julissa. You saw that Amanda did not miss with that mesquite branch. She didn't. But God had enough of all of you, and you too. Enough. Oh, you're going to tell me that it just broke like on accident, even though she didn't miss and my hair flew past my face? No, that was a miracle. A miracle's not going to happen to the person I hate. That's where I come from. I'm not even lying. That's the mentality that I survived all my life. So there, you ordered them to do that, right? Let's see what else. Yeah, there's the belt that y'all had tied my feet and my hands with, and there they blurred her picture out another time, right? There's my bruises where I was, boot marks, right? There, right? You thought I was gonna stay looking like that, didn't you? That's what you wanted, right? I mean, you were getting the orders, right? Just the same way that John Allen was so angry, who I believe him and Ophelia, and Lupe had everything to do with getting you to get them to do that to me. Yeah. I'm guessing the way he was mad when I was released, when Judge Cordova had no business putting a domestic violence victim in jail, revoking her bond. That's another thing he's going to have to explain. I don't know why he keeps thinking that he's going to keep his judicial immunity. You can't do that when you violate somebody's constitutional rights. You're a lawyer, you know that. Anyway. And what else did you order them to do? There you go. You ordered all of that, right, Julissa? Oh, you couldn't. You didn't, as much as you tried, and God knows you did. You were telling them to knock my teeth out, and they were telling you that they couldn't, because by the time you decided, hey, I want her teeth knocked out, my mouth was too swollen. Right? What else did you order? Right? There's that. That's what you wanted. You wanted me to stay looking like that, right? Yeah. Right? Right? That's what you wanted. You made that happen. All the stomping, all the hitting, everything, all the punches. You ordered all of that, right? What's it feel like? This is the way that I look. With no makeup. What's that feel like to you? That's my good karma. Because I didn't do no such thing to no human like this. You ordered that, right? I bet y'all were all laughing and hoping. And 1 year later, that's me. See, that right there is God's work. That's God's work. Right there. The shit you didn't. No, ma'am. Just the way that mesquite branch broke is the way that I healed. What an interesting turn of events we have here, right? But just so you know, I just got confirmation that Ramon Santana and Amanda Salinas are still in jail. Ariel, ¿qué agüite? Right? I mean, I'm sure you're going to spend the holidays somewhere with your family. But still, you're on a warrant. Like, they literally want to catch you, prosecute you, and put you in a prison that Julissa should be sitting in. But instead, she got out. Why do you... I want to pose a question to Ariel. And first of all, the Rainville PD... Nobody. Not Annette Hinojosa. Victims get to talk about anything regarding their damn case, especially when there was an injustice. So if there's any stupid ass hater out there saying, oh, isn't she afraid? Have I ever shown that I'm afraid? No. Not at all. Not at all. Okay? Not at all. Not at all. And you know what? Let me call the Rainbow PD right now, because before I forget, how sad. Look at you, Julissa. And the people that failed, the people that, man, sure. Wasting tax dollars. And you know what? This serious thing that I'm telling you right now is something that my local haters or my local people just here in one of these 4 counties that don't have shit else better to do but just to be like, well, I want to say something even though it's not helpful. I'm being serious. They're the kind of people to complain about what I'm doing. That's what I've been living with. And the best of those wind up being district attorneys. How sad for us. How sad for us.
Raymondville Police.
Hi there, sir. Okay, so this is Vanessa Tijerina again. Am I gonna have to call every night? Because now I just realized about this tonight. I'm gonna need extra patrol, but honestly, it's
Okay. Well, we'll set up next patrol, and the best thing for you to do is call in the evening, right before you go to bed or whatever, and then set up the extra patrol, and we'll keep an eye on the place here in the evening.
I want it on record though, sir. I want it on record that after what was done to me, and I had like Ofelia
Who is
More.
the person you're talking about?
It's Julissa Acosta.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Let me spell that. Acosta.
Yeah.
Spell Acosta. What was the first name?
ACOSTA.
No, I spell Acosta. What was the first name?
Julissa. I have her.
Julissa.
Yeah, I have her. And I have her. I got her inmate numbers. I got the unit that she was at and everything.
I don't need any of that. How old is she?
I don't know. I mean, I think she's like 28. I don't know what her
Is
birthday
she
is.
local? Does she live around here?
Oh yeah, yeah. She lives here with her mother and everything. I don't know if she lives with her mother, but she's from Rainbow. She's from Rainbow.
But you said earlier we spoke and you said she had been arrested in Cameron County.
Yeah. She was bonded out.
But she was arrested on an unrelated charge.
Yes, exact. 2 unrelated charges. Substance, having substances, and then assault, causing bodily injury, failure to appear.
Okay. Well, we'll set up the extra patrol for this evening.
But sir, I just wanted to be on record.
Okay. Do you know what she drives?
I have no idea if she even can afford a car or has a car or anything like that. But no, this is the thing, sir, is that I've been arrested so many times. I'm just afraid that even though there's a stand your law ground, sir, I'm gonna use deadly force if anybody comes into my house. I have to tell y'all that.
Well, you have a right to protect yourself and your property.
Gracias. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I don't want to hear it. Right? Annette, it's a live video. This will not be taken down in 30 days because I will be downloading this. Right? If anybody is sent. Right? First of all, I'm going to go live really, really quickly. I am. Because, it doesn't take me that long to go live. And it will all happen while it's live. Not only am I going to have the silent witnesses that are the cameras in my home, but it's going to be this too. It's not going to go down like that. Nobody's going to go in there. Let's go and shut her up. Really? Let me show you what. Let me show you what. I don't care if your family's going to be there all mad at me. I'm going to protect myself. I'm going to protect myself. All right? I let them know. Just the way that I had said, if Ofelia Moreno goes on my property, I will shoot her dead. Just the same way that I said, if John Allen goes to my property, I will shoot him dead. And there he was like a big ass panochudo trying to go and tell them, she threatened me. She didn't threaten you. She didn't threaten you. She said, don't go to her property. That's not a threat. That's her right. That's not a threat. So in the same way I said that, if this person or any representatives or anybody that should not be at my home, which is anybody, that's what's going to happen. I will be forgiven by God. Because nobody has no business make me feel that I have to protect myself like that. I don't get scared about shit like that because I don't do anything wrong. All right? God, I'm being serious. So, I want to tell y'all why this is so important. Watch. And you all saw it in this spotlight video. This man is awesome, this man is awesome, this dispatcher, but you heard him. He was trying to tell me, and I understand, people get it wrong sometimes, but that you had to have a protective order. No. If somebody does shit like that to you, you have the right to know when they are released. regardless of a protective order. This is no more alleged, by the way. Maybe the cases that she just got arrested for. And this, regarding me, this is not alleged. This is my assailant. She did the damn shit to me. She did it to me. It's been proven in a court of law. She did it. This is no allegations. Oh, I want you to take note of anybody defending her. Red flag. Red flag. You see John Allen defending her? Red flag. John Allen and hater behind the mic, Manny. He is the soundbite for John Allen because they're hateful, weird men. Right? Any human being. You know what? Let me just... Everybody that I feel had put that person up to putting them to do this, but they were never... No investigation was done to rule them out. Watch them. From this moment on, watch them. Watch how they move. It's going to tell you everything you need to know. It's going to prove everything that I've been saying. Everything. In Texas, the law that mandates notification to... Oh, this is what they failed about. This is what they failed about. So if Julisa's family or whatever, this is the law they broke. This is the law they broke. This is the law they broke. The district of Annette Hinojosa, she knew. She violated this. She believes that she's going to have immunity. Mark my words, mark my words, mark my words. It will be a long time coming. And it will be a long time. I don't care who laughs at me. I don't care who does anything. It doesn't matter. That's what a survival story is. That's what the greatest stories of human survival are made of. With people that were laughed at, that were ridiculed, that were humiliated, that were blah, 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 blah. And in the end, they were right. But where I come from, they're still going to be mad. Their nieces, their nephews, their whatever, they don't care if they killed you, unalived you. They will go to the grave blaming you. That's where I come from. That's where I come from. In Texas, the law that mandates notification to victims when their assailant is released is known as the Victim Notification System. This system is part of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, specifically under Article 56.002. It ensures that victims of violent crimes are informed about significant changes in the status of their assailants, including release from custody. Right? Who's eligible for this? Victims of violent crimes. I think what you saw, come on, no? Such as assault, sexual assault, and homicide are eligible for notifications. Rights of victims. This is my right. What I'm doing here is my right. What I'm questioning is my right. Man, I bet you thought ever since you knew that mugshot came out, you've been wondering, when the fuck is this bitch going to talk about it? Well, today's the day. Rights of victims. The law is part of a broader victims' rights legislation in Texas, which aims to ensure that victims are informed and involved in the criminal justice process. Annette Hinojosa Not only have you spent a decade violating my constitutional rights, abusing your authority, doing things that absolutely disqualify any of your immunity, and doing things that perhaps you should be behind bars, or at the very least involved in a prosecution where you have to defend yourself with everything that you did to me. But you stole my ability to be involved, as my right is. That's your legacy, though. You know now that's your legacy, right? You know that even if you put, October is such and such month for domestic violence, right? None of that shit matters. The people in Willacy County are going to be like, hey, I like your post on the, hey, you're saying that's my friend. Outside of Willacy County, you will forever, for the rest of your life, be known as the villain. The villain. The biggest villain. Mark my words. I don't care if your family's mad. Mark my words. Do not ever be a terrible human from the Rio Grande Valley and believe that the way that you're treated and exalted and applauded in the Rio Grande Valley is the way that the rest of the world is going to see you. No, they're not. That's the same way they were not going to see me as a joke. That's how the tables turn. My goodness. And look at you, Annette. Look at you. This is another thing. If you all don't know, Annette Hinojosa has violated this. What's wrong with you? You're such an asshole. You have no business being an elected seat. Texas amended the victim notification rights effective September of this year. How ironic! The same month that this assailant of mine was released. Alright. Oh, this just happened. Because the changes that I was talking about were the changes that I was forcing you to do because you're mandated to do it. But again, you violated. People do not understand every which way you have violated, because I have not spoken and said every detail. But you violated shit from before this date. What is this? This is new to me. What? Let me see what's new for me, because this pertains to me. On February the 24th, 2025, Texas lawmakers introduced Senate Bill 1120, a significant piece of legislation aimed at enhancing the rights of victims in criminal cases. The bill seeks to address the need for improved communication Your ass does not communicate with me, Annette Hinojosa. I'm going to keep reading this, but if it doesn't say, unless the victim is being prosecuted, I do not think that there is a clause like that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So if this new law does not say communication cannot go on if they're being prosecuted, never mind that you're doing it for bullshit reasons because you're going to look like you were trying to make me look like a villain, right? But if it doesn't say that, then that means you're violating this law. When are you going to be arrested? My goodness, right? The bill seeks to address the need for improved communication and transparency between victims, their families, and the legal system throughout the investigative and prosecutorial processes. Do I have to post the letter that I wrote to you and your little assistant district attorney that did not, once again, did not last? That's another part of my story. For the last 12 years, every single person that comes, I applaud, I'm so happy I am an assistant prosecutor here at the Willacy County Prosecutor, blah, 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 blah. You are going to be on, you always assign them to my cases. You think it's a coincidence that they quit as soon as they see the bullshit you're doing to me? That's because they don't want to be your accomplice, lady. They don't want to work with your fucking ass. Nope. Not if it means that you're going to be doing that. No one has ever stayed. Key provisions of Senate Bill 1120 include the establishment of rights for victims, guardians, and close relatives of deceased victims to receive timely notification regarding the status of evidence collection and analysis. I'm going to have to talk to the people who wrote this bill because they need to add, what are you going to do when you have a shitty ass unethical prosecutor that refused to subpoena the most important evidence in a violent criminal case? We're going to have to add that in the next legislative session. You're going to be so angry whenever you see me speaking and giving my testimony, right? Whose fault is that? That's your fault. That's your fault for running for a position you are not qualified for, knowing you were going to do corrupt shit, and then targeting a woman who you had no business targeting. That's your fault. Wow. Victims will have the right to request information about the investigation, including all evidence collected, and to be informed about the status of that evidence. Additionally, the bill mandates that victims be notified when a request is made to a crime laboratory for evidence processing. Awesome! Yeah, that's true. I will keep that other question to myself. This is Willacy County, honey. Willacy County, Texas. It is probably one of the most corrupt counties, if not the most corrupt county in the United States. I'm not even kidding. My story will prove that. And the people that live in my town, they're not going to like it. They're going to be like, no! We're the home of the onion, the onion people. We're the Bearcats, and y'all are all fucked up bullies. Except the ones that didn't bully me. The rest of y'all fucking suck. That's why God does not favor y'all. God favors me. Okay, then why are you dealing with everything that you're dealing with? Exactly. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at the karma that you caused for yourself. Another notable aspect of the bill is the provision allowing victims to confer with the state attorney. But how can I do that if she's prosecuting me? However, Annette, it doesn't say. You see, not one time has it said, none of this applies if you're prosecuting the victim. So who's breaking the law? You are. You are. And your little fucking assistants that do the same shit that you do. That's why they don't want to be involved. Because they know with the quickness, if I was quicker about things, then they would also get a grievance to the state bar for violating this. What the fuck are you going to do then? You ain't going to do... You know who you should ask about if I'm full of shit? I would show you paperwork. Ask Judge Cordova. Asked Judge Cordova why he lied, and I told my lawyer in chambers, can you let her know that I'm not gonna be on her cases no more because her cases cost too much time? But, and I will post it, every single case has an order from Missy Meredy, his boss, the boss of all of the judges in the 5th Administrative Region. They're outside of Alice, Texas. Every single one of my cases has an order to tell him, essentially, get the fuck off her cases. Why was he lying and saying I don't have time for her cases? Boy, they took you off my case because when I submitted the grievance, I paid hundreds of dollars for every single day that I knew that you told me something on transcript, on record, that shows that you should not even be a fucking judge. And that's because I haven't made my second grievance yet. I'm hoping that my second grievous bars you for running for office again. You'll see. You're probably going to give the excuse, though, that I've done the best. I don't feel like being a judge anymore. Just the way that you lied about my cases. No, it wasn't because they made me get off her cases. That's probably what you're going to say then. No, it wasn't because I signed an agreement that said that I would never run for office again. Right? I believe, though, that that is a public sanction, and I believe that that is something that is shown to the public. So I don't think you can get out of that one. Right? Wow. Ariel, you haven't been caught yet. Look at this. Another notable aspect of the bill is the provision allowing victims to confer with the state attorney regarding the disposition of the case. Remember, you would never do that with me, Annette. You wanted to do what the fuck you wanted to do. Yeah, that's right. You were like, they're going to take a plea. But if I say, no, then it's no. Including decisions not to file charges, dismissals, and plea bargains. This means that you... Hey, Willacy County, this pertains to you too. If you are a victim of somebody in Willacy County and Annette Hinojosa and her fucking cronies acting like the fucking mafia with the fucking badge, if they are telling you, oh, you don't have a say. No, you tell them that Senate Bill 1120 that went into effect in September of 2025 says, yes, the fuck I do. A plea bargain? I don't fucking think so. I do not fucking think so. This aims to ensure that victim voices are heard in the legal process, although it clarifies that the state attorney does not represent the victims. And I don't want fucking Annette Hinojosa ever representing me. God represents me. The bill has sparked discussions among lawmakers and advocacy groups, with supporters emphasizing the importance of victims' rights and the need for a more victim-centered approach in the criminal justice system. Critics, however, have raised concerns about the potential for increased burdens on law enforcement. Oh, the thin blue line. That's what that is right there. The cover-up, the blanket, the compadrismo system, good old boy system. Those are the critics. Let me rephrase that. The good old boy system, however, have raised concerns about the potential for increased burdens on law enforcement. Because what a burden it is to force you to do the right thing, right? Yeah. As well as the implications of providing victims with more information that could complicate ongoing investigations. And what did you write? What did you know what? I didn't even know about this. And then I'm going to have to show everybody the letter. You know what you did, you fucking coward, right? I asked for information. And what did you do? I'm going to write to the Attorney General and I'm going to say that we can't do that because it's an ongoing investigation. Wah, wah, wah. I'm going to rewrite that and resend it to you because the new law, that was before September. I showed that, I sent that to you in the beginning of the year. Now, you don't have a choice. Lady, girl, you don't have a choice. It says right here. Look at you, cannot do that no more. The Attorney General cannot help you, ma'am. Nope. The good old boys do not like the implications of providing victims with more information that could complicate ongoing investigations. That's too fucking bad, right? Economically, the bill could lead to increased costs for law enforcement agencies as they adapt to the new requirements for communication and documentation. Oh, how sad. What whiny babies. This is going to cost us money to make sure that there's fairness for victims. That's not fair to us. No. What you want to say is that this law controls you by preventing you to be as corrupt as you can possibly be. That's right. So if your friend that actually did commit a crime, you can't so much hide that no more. And somebody that didn't do a motherfucking thing that you are maliciously targeting, well, that evidence is going to prove it too. Right? Wow, that's some shit. The good old boy system. Economically, they're worried the bill could lead to increased costs for law enforcement agencies as they adapt to the new requirements for we don't want to communicate and documentation. We don't want to make records. We don't want to copy things. Blah, 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 blah. By the way, they charge y'all, right? And if you are a person with a documented disability, you all can message me. All you have to do on your request for information is to add that you are a person with a documented disability. That is an undue burden on you. You are not like the rest of the 80% of the population. You invoke your rights under Title II of the Americans with Disabilities Act, and you request a formal accommodation for them to shove that money they're asking for up their ass. Yeah. I promise you. Because that's what I did. That's what I did. And she knows that. I didn't have to pay for nothing. Because I shouldn't. I'm a person with autism and ADHD. You should not be doing this shit to me. I have to be reading that. You're not going to charge somebody for a wheelchair ramp if they can't walk up the steps. Then you ain't going to be charging me for some shit that I have to read. Because I can't remember that shit. Socially, it reflects a growing recognition, yes, of the importance of victim advocacy and support within the justice system, potentially leading to greater public trust in legal processes. That means transparency. And in a place like Uvalde, Texas, and Raymondville, Texas, they don't want transparency. They want things to stay the corrupt same, so they can protect their friends and so that they can try to weaponize the criminal justice system to go after advocates that have the nerve, the balls, the audacity, the courage, the bravery to say what the fuck you're doing is wrong. Senate Bill 1120 is set to take effect on September the 1st of 2025. So this shit has been in place 2 months and will apply only to, okay, and so that's it. Thank you. Yeah. I'm just glad my case is still open and it's not closed. That's why you should have caught Ariel. You should have caught Ariel. You know why? Because my case is still open. It hasn't been disposed of. Right? Mm-hmm. And then, so you're going to go the way of Judge Cordova's legacy. And that's just the way it's going to be. That's just the way it's going to be. You think I care what these people in the Rio Grande Valley talk shit about me? It's them. ¿Quién son ellos? What have they accomplished? What else do they do? Are they supporting the right thing? No, they're not. They're assholes. They're mean people. They don't go by the golden rule. Do unto others as you would like others to do unto you. They are awful people. Right? The other ones just stay silent. But still, silence is like neutrality. And what does neutrality do? When somebody is neutral, all that does is help the person oppressing, the people oppressing, the department oppressing, the official oppressing. And it harms the people that are being oppressed. Fuck your neutrality. And until something like this happens to people that are like, oh, you do the crime, you do the time. A mugshot means guilty. An indictment means guilty. You still haven't booked my last DWI blood test out there. Why not? Why not? Why not? That DPS trooper's gonna look like a damn fool too. Just like those cops. Everything that I said that was gonna happen is gonna happen, because I'm just there thinking the whole time it was happening to me, I was like, this is crazy. Because not only is this not something that you can cover up, it's wrong, and you can't cover this up. You cannot cover up the fact that she told you, I'm 60 pounds over the weight limit for this field sobriety test. You can't cover that up. You can't cover up that she has ADHD and autism, and you were having her do the standing thing on a slanted area, plus it was drizzling, plus there was bright lights, and plus there was a lot of traffic going by. Those are not conditions that you do those things in. Then we all remember Officer Ramirez didn't even conduct a field sobriety test. He did it 3 hours after. 3 hours after he planted the evidence in my car. Does your Border Patrol supervisor know about that? I don't think so, right? You're gonna think it's harassment, right? You're right? But victims have a right to let them know. How did you pass the Border Patrol thing? Because I know that they ask you if you have ever done corrupt shit like that. How did you pass it? What a psychopath. Ew. How did you get away with hiding the fact that you planted evidence in the car? Oh my God. Why would they want you there? So you can plant evidence in the cars of people, you know, coming over here undocumented? Qué bonito. I know. Right? Yeah. And also you couldn't hide the fact, because it was all on it was all on record. It was on the police body camera and in the videos of the inside of the police car when I said, can you please do you have a breathalyzer? Why would I ask you for a breathalyzer? And why don't you have one as a DPS trooper? Okay, you don't have one? Can you drive me to the Rainville PD? That was me asking that. Can you please ask them for a breathalyzer, please? Because I want to take one. Right? And then I asked you to go to the county, and you didn't want to. But it was good, because I was already telling you too, please, if you're going to take my blood, don't wait. Please don't wait. Please don't wait. Because if this goes to court, you're going to say, oh, she didn't have anything in her blood because we took so long and blah, 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 blah. But you don't tell people how you refused to give me a breathalyzer. I mean, and why did you have to request the evidence twice? It's the same shit. You had to request the results twice. Why did you do that? Are you that bad, all of y'all, that you are not able to keep a chain of custody of evidence? How sad. That's something that we're gonna have to ask. What the fuck is wrong with y'all and your chain of custody? Where did the first one go? And if you cannot produce both of them, then there's something wrong here. You broke the chain of custody. And you did. And you did. If you cannot produce both of the documents that you requested, you broke the chain of custody. But not only that, you fucked up way before that. And also, you don't tell the public, and it's all there. Because I was like, you cannot, this is all being recorded. My phone record, I could literally log into T-Mobile right now. Because I was like, because he took me to Harlingen Medical Center, and they were like, oh, it's going to take hours, and he was like all mad and everything because he wanted to go home already. And I was like, you know what, do you want me to make calls to see if they could take me at the urgent center or at a nearest hospital? Who made those calls? Me, the sober person. Yeah. Who found out that Nat Medical Center could take us sooner than everybody else? Me, the sober person. But you didn't say anything like that. No, instead, you wanted to go and revoke my bonds. Oh, we're going to take all our bonds away. Shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down. That's what the judge told you. That's what he told you. And you know what he told you, También? And I don't want Judge Hinojosa, and I don't want those results to come back, and I don't want to hear a damn thing about anything that she has a prescription for. So you can't even say anything about that. You are shit out of luck. And me and my attorney, you have a DPS trooper saying, yeah, she was saying that she was over here where there was a blinking yellow light. There's not even a blinking yellow light. What's wrong with her? Literally, the blinking yellow light is blinking yellow right behind him. I'm not kidding. It's the truth. Yep. But why did they want to go forward with it? That's right, because you got this, and you got that, and you got this, and you got that, and little did we know this was before they knew that Officer Ramirez had planted evidence in the case. And remember, because this is going to be reported to the state board, because I'm so mad at that this happened, right? I'm so upset, right, that my victims' rights were violated, right? The world doesn't really understand that when you became aware, and the law says when a prosecutor in Texas becomes aware of exculpatory evidence. Oh, that's not enough. Let me do it the right way. The duty. That means you had a standard? And you fucking failed because you didn't meet it. And you did even worse. Because watch. In Texas, a prosecutor has a duty to disclose exculpatory evidence. Exculpatory evidence, y'all, if you don't understand, is any kind of evidence that shows that the person could not have committed the crime and or that unconstitutional things were done. Like planting evidence in my damn car. Right? You knew about that shit. You knew when Officer Ramirez's testimony was used in the protective order case to keep me away from my daughters. But when the public finds out why they were kept away from me, that's fucking disgusting. Shame on all of you. That's gross. When they find out who Officer Vargas, the officer that Officer Ramirez, that is incredible, unbelievable, jaws will drop. When they find out who Officer Vargas, the officer that Ramirez handed the evidence they were going to plant, and he didn't know what to do with it, and he finally threw it in the glove compartment. When they find out who he is related to, and how closely, and what you did with my daughters the very next day, we know. The problem is that you never thought it was going to get to that point. Right? So that's why I'm okay with being laughed at and everything, because eventually that truth is going to come to fruition, and all of you are going to look like the evil heathens that you are. Every single one. Because people are going to be like, you mean they didn't ask any questions regarding it? No, they didn't. No, they didn't ask. They did something totally different. You're not supposed to be talking about this. That's over with. I can say whatever I want. This is important. This is a matter of public importance. When they find out whose names you cleared the next day, they're going to know the reason that all that was done to me. All right? But y'all are going to have time to explain all of that in a civil court when Judge Cordova loses his immunity, you lose your immunity, and the fucking officers that planted the evidence in my car lose their fucking immunity. Because they lost, after all the shit y'all did, y'all don't have no protections from prosecution. You can't do all of those things and maintain your immunity. What's wrong with you? Exculpatory evidence is that this obligation, do you hear that? This is not may, this is shall. This obligation stems from both constitutional requirements and state law. That is a civil requirement and a criminal requirement that makes you a criminal. Because I haven't explained why this applies. When you found out about this, not only did you not drop the prosecution against me, you did something even more malicious, you evil human. Constitutional basis. The U.S. Supreme Court case Brady versus Maryland established that withholding exculpatory evidence violates a defendant's right to a fair trial. You knew that whole mistrial. You fucking asshole. You knew the whole mistrial that tape existed. You bitch. What did you do? What did you do? You dismissed the case of 2 counts of DWI with child endangerment because there was no DWI. There was nothing that anybody should have ever given testimony to substance in my body because nothing came out positive. You impaneled a jury. There is a case out there that says that once you impanel a jury and then you dismiss the charges, and instead of 2 cases of, you've already attached double jeopardy. The facts have already been heard. You don't believe me, but you'll find out later. Pendeja. You dismiss the 2 counts of DWI with child endangerment. And the public doesn't know this part. Because there was nothing in my system. Right? So you separated the charges into 2 counts of DWI, knowing you would lose those. But 2 separate counts, so now it's 4 counts of child endangerment. And what was the child endangerment? Because nobody really knows what you're accusing me of endangering my children. Right? Doing a live video while I'm driving in my car. The haters that are plotting that are idiots. Because by that time, the law clearly stated that's not against the law. Nothing in Texas law states you cannot do a hands-free live video with children in the vehicle. But that's what you claimed in the indictment, that I endangered my children by doing nothing illegal. Good luck with that. That was the constitutional basis. The Texas law. This is why you should be in handcuffs for this. Right? Man, I wish you had a federal indictment. I hope and pray. Under Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 39.14, prosecutors must disclose. You see, you didn't do this. You did even worse. And I'm going to tell them right now. Prosecutors must disclose any evidence that may be favorable to the defendant, including exculpatory evidence, which was that video. But what did you do instead? You lied to Judge Garza. Shame on you. You lied to my attorney. You were going to get Ruby Thomas to say that I did not record that. Yeah, I did not have to record that video. It stands on its own. You do not in Texas, you do not need somebody to say, I recorded that video. That is an unedited video of officers planting evidence in my car, you idiot. So not only did you not stop the prosecution, you tried to cause dysfunction between me and my lawyer by saying, oh my God, they're saying that they're going to have this woman. Did they tell you that woman is a felon and she cannot make testimony? She's a felon. She's a felon. And she's wanted. At that time, she was wanted in Hidalgo County. She's not going to go in there and make any kind of testimony. She has a warrant from Starr County. That's a whole ass felon right there. They didn't tell you that, did they? And they didn't tell you. And he got pissed about that, and everybody did. That the thing that they want to say that I did not record, it was the officers breaking the law, you stupid human of a prosecutor. You were going to get a convicted felon. You were going to try to scare me. We're going to do this to you if you don't take a plea deal. Fuck your plea deal. That's why I said 3 years ago when I made my live video, y'all, they wanted me to make a plea deal for everything. So instead of seeing, oh my God, my officers did that they're breaking the law. And also, that gets rid of everything. It's exculpatory evidence. No, instead, you tried to leverage it against me to threaten me with an indictment. No lies have been told. Not one. Timing and method of disclosure. Disclosure, but you didn't do this. You knew this about months because remember it was what's her name? Karina or whatever her name was. She was one of those assistant prosecutors who went to go work for you, that when she found out about this shit, she was like, I'm out of here. Peace. I don't want to be a part of this. She saw that because whenever she was there, she was like, oh. When my lawyer showed that to her and the investigator that you sent her with were like, oh my God. Yeah. She knew, even though she wasn't a prosecutor, she was a lawyer. But she was an assistant prosecutor, which the rules of a prosecutor still apply to her. And Carissa, I'm not going to make the complaint, but you and me both know that is a very legitimate grievance because you didn't say anything either. Also, the officer, as a law enforcement officer, he didn't say anything either. You all witnessed a crime committed by 2 law enforcement officers that led to a malicious prosecution. You all also did not report Annette Hinojosa when you're mandated reporters. You're mandated to report when an elected official, an official in capacity, does that, and not only does that, it tries to harm somebody with that instead of doing this right here. The timing and method of disclosure. Disclosure should occur as soon as practical, allowing the defense adequate time to utilize the evidence in their case preparation. You didn't. You let it go for 3 more years, you idiot. But you're going to keep your immunity, right? All that is protected. No, it's not. Consequences of non-disclosure. You know, Michael Morton's lawyer, prosecutor, has been the only prosecutor in Texas to ever be arrested. You foolish woman. That's why they created the Michael Morton Act. Consequences for non-disclosure. And this is what's going to happen in my cases. Failure to disclose exculpatory evidence can lead to the reversal of convictions and potential disciplinary actions against the prosecutor, which I am hoping and praying for, because you are an evil bitch. You did all that. You did all that, and you deserve to be disciplined. You deserve to never practice law again and never run for a political seat again. You don't get to do that to a Texan or to any citizen. You do not get to fall below your duties. You do not get to do what was done to Michael Morton and get away with it. In summary, Texas prosecutors are legally and ethically required to disclose exculpatory evidence to ensure justice and uphold the rights of the accused. Right? But here you thought you had my ass in a sling, right? Right? The officer planting that evidence in the car led to a municipal court case of paraphernalia when it was those two motherfuckers that introduced it into my vehicle. Gone. Interference with public duties. She didn't get off the car. Gone. Two counts of child endangerment and DWA. Gone. But you know what the most important thing is? A protective order, which was based on the events of that day and the testimony of two corrupt ass fucking officers, one of which was related in a strange fucking way to a person who was cleared of something very serious the day after. Gone. Vacated. All right? And you can go on with your little sunglass case. I'll win that shit too. And you can go on with your little W. I just spoke to my lawyer about that. Man, they're going to skewer that DPS trooper. He had no business. And those are all my cases. The food stamp fraud case, you'll see about that. You will see about that. You all were foolish fucking people to do this to me. Foolish. And all these fucking people in the Valley and Raymondville and Willacy County that rooted you all on are just as foolish as you. Just as foolish. Alright. And look at the one that you've been laughing at for 14 years. Laughing at, maliciously prosecuting, shaming, There's people that would have unalived themselves because of what you did with their children. And the damage that you did to the children themselves, which the world doesn't know about, you fucking evil people. Their parent doesn't even know that you did that. And I don't blame him, because he doesn't know. He's gonna care. He's gonna care how that second officer was related to the person that you cleared the very next day. Because you lied to him. You lied to their father. You didn't tell them. You didn't tell him that. Because if you would have told him that, he would have done the right thing as a father. He doesn't know. All right. That's all I have to say. This woman will continue to everything. No wonder Felicita trying to get me to go into court. As soon as all that shit happened, Felicita had me in the municipal court saying, why don't you just sign that they found this here? You know, I mean, it's just a fine. If I didn't have respect for her, I would have said, fuck you. Fuck you. I am a legal assistant credentialed. I know what that means. I will never be able to get rid of that case. And then she tried to tell me, but they also found things in your, yeah, but they planted evidence in my car. So there goes all of that. Goodbye. Thank you. My goodness. Why? Qué feo. Anyways, I love y'all so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm going to leave this up for a little bit because all of this is a true story. You can look all of this shit up. Everything. Everything. The thing that happened the day after the Stars incident, oh my God. And the names that were involved, and the names that were cleared, oh my God. And the relation to the second officer, that's probably sealed. And you probably also did that because you don't want their father to know what you all did to his daughters. Shame on all of you. Thank you, God. All right, that's all I have to say. You haters can go and, you know, live the karma that you've racked up and that you're going to rack up because you have no self-control. The rest of you, thank you so much for being caring and kind and loving. I will never forget that. Okay? Take care. And if you can send me positive vibes and all of that, I appreciate it. If you can please help me manifest that the immunities of all of the officers involved are dropped and that they can be sued, and also Judge Cordova's judicial immunity is dropped and he can be sued, and that Annette Hinojosa's prosecutorial immunity is dropped and she can be sued, but that all four of them, even if they're not convicted, will face the same walk of shame that they created for me that I did not deserve, that they do deserve, which is being in handcuffs. And let us see them get arraigned. But I have a feeling that you aren't. It's going to be a plea deal, isn't it? For all of you if that happens, right? Because there is no way that you will take that to, you all will never. You see, that's the difference between good people and bad people. A good person will always insist on a jury trial. Motherfuckers like you four will fucking plea. Because a jury's gonna be like, you fucking devils. Guilty! Right? Right? That's not up to me. That's up to a jury. Oh, but you're not gonna get a jury. I don't know what you're gonna do. You're gonna get a jury. Anyways, what I care about is a civil trial. That's what I care about. That is what I care about. The civil trial. You are not going to take those years away from my family and from me and not feel that. And not feel uncomfortable for the rest of your lives. Because a jury in a civil suit, because I'm not gonna take a deal. Hey, they said that I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing. I want the jury to reward something. I want the jury to reward something. I want the jury to see everything they did. I'm not gonna say that I will accept this amount. No. Right? And all of the other officers that participated in my prosecution, honestly, I don't even care about y'all. I mean, I do. I don't care about that. It was Judge Cordova, it was Annette Hinojosa, and it was those two fucking officers. that became gypsy officers. Gypsy officers are officers that do bad things in one city and are allowed to keep their credentialing and go to another city. That's a fucking gypsy officer. Not good, not good, not good. All right. Okay. So that's all I have to say. I'm standing by everything. I haven't changed anything. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Your plea bargains are going to be your plea bargains. Hopefully, immunities are taken away. Either way, if there's not, if we do not get the immunities and we're not able to charge them criminally, there will be a civil suit. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't care if Officer Ramirez has a little tiny plot of land. You harmed my daughters and you harmed me. That's what a jury saw fit, and that's what's gonna happen. All right. Thank y'all so much. Don't be going after good people. Okay? All right. Oh, and also let me remind all the people that have been charged with paraphernalia in your vehicles in Willacy County. You refer to my case. You tell your lawyer about my case. It matters. It sets precedence. It shows their ability to make up evidence. Okay, not every cop is like that, but the potential still exists. Okay, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. I don't care what a hater thinks, because it's a hater, and it's that brain, it's that mind. I care about what you loving people think. Okay.